So one of my husband's favorite dinners is deer sausage ravioli. First off, your sausage seasoning. When I made this recipe, I stuck it on the side of this jar. Pro tip, get you a jar. Put your recipe on the side. This has to be at least 16 times this recipe in this jar. So I can do 16 pounds of sausage. It's going to take a while to do that much. But your little teas or teaspoons, and then you do that, you measure it all out. All you got to do is mix in 1.4 tablespoons per pound with your maple syrup into your bowl. And you're going to let it sit for at least a few hours, preferably at least overnight. And part one of deer sausage ravioli is done. But if you just want the deer sausage or any sausage, mix it up, stick it in the fridge, and the next morning you cook. And no, I'm not wearing gloves. This is my personal kitchen with food that will be cooked. You're going to mix this in, kind of break up the meat as much as you can, because over mixing will make a very mealy end product, and that is not pleasant. I'm going to try and do this with one hand because I'm holding the phone with the other. And you just try and get it incorporated around. Find a dry spot, so we're going to break apart and try and mix it in. And based on the kind of meat that you're using and how finely it's ground, you're going to discover after the first batch or two if you overmix. The only thing I didn't put in here was the maple syrup. I don't have any. It's okay. We're going to be putting sweet potatoes, secret hint, sweet potato mash in the mix later. So you just mix it up, and we're going to cover this and let this sit for a few hours. Part two of the venison ravioli. So we need to make the pasta. This is going to be pretty simple. I highly recommend this double O pizza flour. If you don't have this, go ahead and use the other stuff. But we like this one for pasta. And then we've got our own eggs from our chickens. And really, that's all it is. I'm not going to do the pasta volcano. So generally speaking, you're going to want about 100 grams of flour per egg. And I'm going to end up doing about 9.5 cups of flour for the number of eggs that we want to use. Next up, we whisk. I'm not Italian enough to do this on my counter. I'm not Italian at all.
I am.
So maybe you should be doing this. You do it. When we get to where it's too thick to mix in the eggs, we're just going to go in with our hands and start working. Alright, we've added a little bit of water, and then we figured out that we added a little too much water. But yeah, you just keep kneading until it's smooth, and it's going to take a minute. It's like a good 10 minutes worth of kneading. If we're ready, give it a good coat in oil, and we're going to set it to rest so we don't dry out, and then we're going to set it in a bowl. Cover that up. We're going to let that rest. So yesterday, it sat overnight to absorb all the flavors. And we've pre-baked these sweet potatoes. These are not your normal orange sweet potatoes. These are called Haman. My cousin's farm in Virginia grows them. I will put the name of his farm up there. They're not orange. And these are an heirloom variety that is grown on the eastern shore of Virginia. And they start out kind of creamy colored, but they can turn almost to chartreuse. This one didn't do that quite as much, but they turn almost to chartreuse. This is the kind of sweet potato that we're working with today. So I'll clean these up while we get the sausage cooked. So My nephew's going to be in charge of chopping this up into itty bitty pieces while I clean up some of these sweet potatoes. And the point of these sweet potatoes is as like a binder in your ravioli. My husband is not a huge fan of ricotta cheese or really just cheese and pasta at all. So we use sweet potatoes as a binder, and that'll help protect your pasta too from being like pierced by any extra big pieces of ground meat that might be left over. And the sweet potato really goes well with venison, so you see that pretty green. It started out almost white. It's such a cool color. But I'd say that's, I don't know, maybe a little over a pound with 2 pounds of the venison. And you want to chop this about as fine as you can get. That way it doesn't poke your pasta. Alright, so now we're going to start mixing these in. It helps to mix them if you mush them a little bit. I got really lucky having my nephew here to help today. Alright, at some point you can turn the heat off and then just start
chopping it right on in.
Like if everything is cooked and hot, because it's easier to mix in the sweet potatoes when they're hot.
Yep.
You just start incorporating everything. So, yeah, once you've got your ground meat all kind of incorporated and like you basically turned it into a paste, you're good to go. You can let it cool off a little bit so it doesn't mess you up. But we've got this done while our pasta is resting. The pasta dough is resting, and then up next we'll be rolling out pasta and making ravioli. Okay, this is the part where it all comes together. And then we start our pasta with the roller, and the last thing is going to be your pasta roller. You don't have to have that. You can do it with this if you want to, but I definitely love having one of these so I get a nice, consistent, thin, finished pasta. Yeah. And our pasta is ready. It doesn't bounce back, and we are good to start. Alright, so we're going to roll it. Alright, so we've got a little bit of a head start on this, so we'll adjust here, open it to the widest setting. And I kind of like this. We're going to stop at 4. Alright, we've got a whole bunch of pasta rolled out. Now we're going to start putting them in the raviolis. So we got a little bit of flour dusted down. Now we're just going to take a teaspoon, round it off nice, and we're going to make a row or 2. So now we're going to add in our glue. Just a little bit of water. Alright. Put your pasta on top. Make sure it's centered as much as you can get it. It's not going to be perfect. We aren't looking for perfect. We're just... You can use a spatula, the back of a knife, anything really. But we're just gonna... I'm using the chopstick. And we're gonna mush the 2 sides of pasta together. And you want to work on a grid so that this is possible. No. The last last thing we do. There we go. And we just pick them up. Double check your seal, because some of them might not work 100%. So you double check your seal. It doesn't look as pretty as the ones made in the die, but we like these. So you pick up, double check your seal, and you're good to go. Definitely homemade looking pasta. Alright, finally got them all done. We will be able to throw this in the freezer, and once they're nice and frozen solid, bag them up and they're good to go. Alright, your final part is cooking the ravioli. So we've got them frozen. Basically all it is you get your nice rolling boil, season your water. You're not going to eat all that salt. It just helps keep your pasta from being bland. And usually what we do is one serving at a time. And we'll drop in pasta. It's currently frozen. And then you'll see it sinks to the bottom. Now we are at less than 2 minutes, I think, so far. And they're starting to come apart, but they're not all floating. Alright, we've got them all floating right now. They keep trying to drop down and come back up. So they're looking pretty good. We're going to carefully lift them over. Alright. Enjoy.